Madam Web needs to be studied. Another movie have just recently come out and it was a flop. Not really surprised as I tend to have a lot of expectation when it comes to modern movies. Well, this is what usually happens when people who create these movies just want money and didn't respect the fans. Yeah, it's always about the money, isn't it? Okay, let's start with saying I'm not very picky when watching movies. I have a lot of expectation when watching it, and yes, I regret going to cinema to watch this movie. It would be okay to watch this movie in monitor in my own house, but not cinema worthy in my opinion. Some people assume that I didn't like the movie because the main character is female, which is not. I think the main character performance was good, just the script is not that good. I was tagging along with my friend who is a big fan of female main characters in movies, and even she doesn't like the movie. So let's break down the movie shortly, and of course, spoiler for people who haven't watched the movies. You have been warned. So I hear that people already didn't like how the movie started, but it was okay for me. Remind you, my expectation was low. The only thing that bothered me was the reason why the villain backstory was cut short. He killed the main character mother and steal the spider, and the reason for all of this is some sort of no one helped his family when they were starving. Of course, I was paraphrasing it, but it's basically just that. His entire backstory is basically not even a simple paragraph. I knew he was in a hurry, but maybe do a flashback from time to time. His background doesn't have to be a long flashback in a single scene. You can chop it down and reveal it from time to time, like in the middle or the end of the movie, so we can know more about the character. Because it's a villain, of course, we need to know more. It's not a side character, it's one of the main character. It's the antagonist. Also, we were revealed that there is a spider people at this moment that helped the main character mother deliver the baby. This is after the villain shot her and the other people and run away. So these people, they move like a spider, so I assume they have the same power as the villain due to this spider. But what I mean by saying the same power as the villain is that in the future the villain will have this kind of ability. This villain at this time has no other threat other than his gun. Surely they can fight him off with their own super strength, right? As we learn that the spider give this kind of power to the villain at the future. Instead, they ignore this villain who run away with the spider and help the main character mother instead, which is a nice gesture, but there is a lot of them. In the future, the villain able to disarm the police squad alone with the spider power. So these spider people should be able to send at least one of them to stop him. But they're not. The main character then grew up to be a paramedic, and we learned that she had a relationship and didn't care about people, which kinda counter her job as a paramedic. But yeah, sure, there is some paramedic like that in real life, so yeah, I give that a pass. She started activate her power of seeing the future after she got into an accident that almost killed her. She think it was deja vu at first, but then slowly learned that she actually can see the future. What fascinated me is that she went to see some sort of a doctor to find answers on why she able to see the future. Surely she knew that seeing the future is not a common thing, which means the doctor 100% won't have the answers she was looking for. Unless she thinks he is crazy, which she didn't say. She genuinely believes she can see the future, and why she needed the scans, which is the result says normal, but she still insists that the doctor should do something about it. One thing the movie did creatively for me is the way they showcase her ability to see the future, which is quite creative, only in certain parts by the way. Yeah, let's see the villain. Even with watching the movie with the knowledge that the villain was ad-lib, I didn't notice it much, probably because I'm not that observant. One thing that confused me about the villain is his power. Knowing nothing of the comic, I first assumed the villain and the main character have the same ability, because of course they will come from the same spider. Then I learned that the villain have super strength, venomous touch, which if he touch you, he can transfer venom to you that can kill you, and the ability to crawl in walls just like spider. And the main character have none of those, except the ability to see the future. So does that mean each spider is different? But I saw the spider people can crawl. But then I got bamboozled into thinking that he can see the future by his dream. In his dream, he was killed by 3 random girls that had never met, that he is very certain that it is his future, because it's a nightmare that he had often. I'm just confused, what prompted this dream? Is it the spider giving him warning about his death? Or is it fate punishing him for his action? He slept with some agent that has technology to track anyone they want in the world. He steals the technology and using his memories of those 3 girls in a dream, somehow draws a sketch of them and use that to track those 3 girls. One thing that managed to make me laugh is that the reason why the main character went into trance. I might be missing something, but after she confirmed she can see the future, the scene skipped into her going into the train station with no context at all. Couldn't they just let her serve monologue saying something like, "This ability is cool, let's try the full potential in crowded area," or something? But no, she just immediately went into one of the trains, sit there and just watch her surroundings without saying anything. Like, what's the reason she's going there, bro? During the cinema, I was assumed she was going to work or something, but it was never confirmed. This is also how all the other 3 girls met together, as they were sitting on the same area, and where the main character see the future, where the villain come and kill all 3 of the girls. Now let's go back to the villain. In the vision, he was killing them without hiding his identity, which is terrible because the police can easily identify him. Even the witnesses can identify him. Unless he killed them all, he does wearing his Spider-Man-ish suit after though. Which also a bad idea if you want to hide that he has special ability. I genuinely think that the suit make him less scary. It also makes it easy to predict where she is with the vision. At least if he camouflage himself as a villain and try to approach the girls as close as possible to kill them, it would make it a bit harder for the main character, as she needs to predict much faster to intercept it, which would make him a bit more scary. I also genuinely bamboozled to think the villain have the ability to be invincible, as for some reason, when the girls pointing out the villain, no one seemed to be able to see him except the important characters. But then Uncle Ben is able to see him, and he is a normal person and possess no superpowers, so this is not the case. Does this mean the previous people just couldn't care less about some random person dressing as Spider-Man, wreaking havoc, and it wasn't reported in media social at least? The main character managed to save the girls and decided to take care of them first before sending them back to their parents. Let's not forget this main character doesn't care, which I can accept at certain degrees, as in reality this can happen. Leaving the 3 young girls in the forest while going back to the house to do research is not reality to me though. They should at least stay in an abandoned cabin or something. No wonder the girls wander off. The girls wander off to a nearby food shop, and flirting and dancing with some boys attracts some side character who call the police, as due to previous misunderstanding was presumed kidnapped by the main character. The villain able to detect this call due to the technology that he have, and then contact the police squad that's supposed to retrieve the girl, and somehow know the code the police used to abort them from going to the girls. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have the insider knowledge, so I was assumed he know it from the technology thing, which kind of a stretch to be honest. He able to abort the police mission so he can personally go and kill the girls. One thing I confused about this villain is that does he want to stay anonymous, or does he want to be a known villain? What we know so far is that he was so focused into killing these 3 girls that he assumed will kill him due to his freaking nightmares. Other than that, what else is his objective? World domination? Is his spider suit, which doesn't have origin by the way, it just sort of appeared just like that? Is it just made just to hide his identity while killing these 3 girls? Or was he preparing it to do other stuff as well? Because if he does create this suit just to kill these 3 girls, it was a stupid decision, as it make it easier for people to identify him. He can easily get a gun, which was proven in the start of the film when he killed the main character mother, and kill these girls from far away without using his ability, because at this timing, they haven't have the power to kill him like the nightmare that he had. And yes, the villain know this and he said it himself. One thing that I was anticipating to happen in this movie was for them to make a scene where the main character fight the villain using her vision, and due to her having a weakness in physical strength, she will keep dying in the vision, and will have to come up with a new creative method each time in the vision to win. Yet they only show her fail once, and then everything after that is just showing what she do based on her vision that they're not even showing. was okay, but for me it was a missing opportunity for a dope scene. The main character managed to save the girls by hitting the villain with a car. They run away to a hotel, and in this hotel is where I personally think they do a scene which is not necessary. It's a scene where they open up and tell their own backstory. It feels rushed and thus giving no impact to the viewers. I personally think it's fine to not let them spill their entire backstory. Just leave a bit of crumbs with the potential for a reveal in the next movie or something. One thing that confused me until now is that the main character went back to the food shop, and from there some sort of vision happened, and the main character and the villain was having a conversation from there. So I assume the main character used her vision to see the future in which she will have conversation with the villain. Then the scene cut to awakening from a nightmare in the hotel. I assume it's not a simple nightmare, and there's no way the villain have the ability to enter her dream. So the conversation 100% did happen, which I assume happened in the future, which are never done in a movie in real time, which somehow the villain knew. But the villain can't know the future, right? He can only see his sort of future dad in his dream, and that's it. So in what form does he able to learn this conversation that he had with the main character in the future? One thing that is predictable but can't be avoided is when the main character teach the girls how to do CPR, which I immediately knew will be useful at the end of the movie. But yeah, a game is a game. The main character let the girl stay in Uncle Ben's house while she go back to the place where her mother found a spider to look for answer. From there, she learned the reason why the mother focused more into the spider than her, which is okay. From the special water pool, she can see the past and able to talk to her mom, which is a heartwarming scene, so I guess I let that slide. After that, she is able to upgrade her power to be able to be at different locations at the same time. At first, I thought she can split herself into multiple futures to see which one is better, which could lead to a potential great scene, but it literally just her produced clone in real time to do stuff. It's also confusing that spider people still exist, at least one of them, that guide the main character when she arrived, and never come with her to have her fight the villain in the city. In the start of the movie, they have the same ability as the villain, so for sure they can fight in the same level. But he just basically say good luck to her and let her solve her own problem. It's acceptable, he is the I don't care type of person, but he cared enough that he wait for her to let her get her power upgrades. And he gave the famous Spider-Man line and the responsibility, great power and something, but then twist it to make it sound different. It almost sounds like they use ChatGPT to twist this word for them. One of the things that I really don't like is the reason how the girls are spotted again by the villain. They already know they can be tracked as long as they're near some sort of technology. They were hiding in the Uncle Ben's house, and the wife, I assume, is about to give birth, and for some reason they join him to send her to the hospital. Couldn't they just stay in the house? They are not kids, they can take care of themselves. It would be understandable if they really need to help, but they literally just stood there, and even one of them just said she don't want to even see it. But then why are you guys joining them then? And finally, one of them just fully show her face in the window, which was captured by a camera, and notified the villain. Get her wear a mask at least. The main character returned to the home, and using her vision, she knew the situation and stole a car to chase them down. The villain came and almost killed them by throwing some sort of sticky bombs. I genuinely think the gun is much better in this movie, and it makes it harder for the main character to intercept, which in turn makes him as scary as villain should be. Nevertheless, the main character have a plan. By luring the villain to a dangerous building and set up some kind of fireworks, burnings and explosion in the building, the villain able to almost kill all the three girls and corner the main character. And here is where the main character used her upgraded ability to summon her clones and go help the three girls, and also leaving herself defenseless, of course. I assume this is the first time she using this ability, so yeah, the mistake is acceptable, but damn. Using her vision, she used the environment to kill him, and it saved the day. She fall to the sea, and some sort of debris of the fall and make her blind and paralyze her so that she can only use wheelchair. And this is the time that three girls perform a CPR to save her. And that's how the movies end. Another thing that I annoy this movie, as a superhero movie, it hardly have any action in it. I knew the main character is physically so much weaker, and the villain has superhuman strength, but at least make a scene where she used her vision multiple times fighting this villain. Instead, in the endgame, it only shows what the main character do after using her vision, instead of showing what the vision is, including the failed one, which is a potential for more action. They're basically fighting using the environmental. Now, what is my review of the movie? First, I'm impressed that they didn't immediately make the three girls a superhero as shown in the villain Nightmare. It will feel much more rushed if they do. They're basically just a hunted bounty in this movie. However, there is no need to explain their backstory in such a short scene. I don't think there is a need to make them wear their superhero outfit this early as well. Nevertheless, it was an okay movie to watch at home and then forget about it. It's not worth the money to buy the ticket and watch it on the cinema though. And yeah, that's just me rambling. Thanks for watching.